In business, cash discounts are offered to encourage prompt payments. The ordinary dating method is the most common method used for cash discounts. It's typically written on an invoice as something like this. This is read as 3, 10, net 30. The first number in the first term is a % discount. The second number is a date range. So in this case, 10 days. And net 30 is again a date range. So in this case, 30 days. And what this is saying is that if the invoice is paid within 10 days from the invoice date, there will be a 3% discount. And if it is not paid within 10 days of the invoice date, the full invoice amount must be paid within 30 days from the invoice date. As a quick example, let's say that an invoice for $420 states 2, 10, net 30. So if the invoice is paid within 10 days from the invoice date, there is a 2% cash discount. 2% of $420 is 0.02 times 420, which equals $8.40. In this case, the amount due would be the invoice amount minus the cash discount, $420 minus $8.40, which equals $411.60. And if the invoice is not paid within 10 days from the invoice date, the total amount of the invoice, $420, will be due within 30 days from the invoice date. What can get confusing for some is figuring out the actual due dates. So let's go through this. We'll use the numbers from the previous example. Invoice for $420 and 2, 10, net 30, with an invoice date of 10/6, October 6th. For the date for the discount, 10 days from the invoice date. We do not include the actual date of the invoice, the 6th, in our example. Here is a calendar counting the days from the invoice date, which is the 16th. Now to compute this date, we just add 10 to the invoice date. So 6 plus 10, which equals 16, so the 16th. Same as counting through the calendar. Now for the due date of 30 days from the invoice date, or the regular invoice due date. To calculate this, we subtract the invoice date from the number of days in the month, or the regular date range. Then add the number of days in the next month needed to get to 30. Using our example of 10/6, there are 31 days in October, so we have 31 minus 6, which equals 25. To get to 30, we need to add 5 to 25. So 5 days in the next month of November. And the due date for 30 days from 10/6 is 11/5, November 5th. And here is a more complex example that requires going through the next month to the following month. All right, my friends, hopefully you got something out of this video. I do have more videos right there for you. Till next time, I am out of here.